What's good? It's Fevir. Today, guys, I got a weird one for you. It's probably one of the strangest MMO games that I've ever spent any time in, although I think calling it a game would be a bit of a stretch. It's more like an experience or just something other. The title of the game is called Occupy White Walls and is currently very much in development, but because of the game's nature, that doesn't matter a whole lot. Occupy White Walls uses the framework of an online game to solve a problem, and to let the founder and CEO of StikiPixel, the company behind the game, put that problem into his own words, I'll turn it over to him.
I believe the physical gallery model, the wall in a cave, falls short on several dimensions. For collections, this shows an impossible bandwidth issue. Most museums can only display 10% of their collections. They're like a huge iceberg. 90% of all these great artworks are forever underwater, never to see the light of day. How would they choose which 10th of their collection to actually show people?
And so what he came up with is a way to gamify art and work as a bit of a discovery and curation platform informed by you, the player. So this first part, the game portion, gives you the ability to piece by piece create your own art gallery, kind of like in a sim style where you are going through a huge list of assets and choosing the right walls and floor and lighting and sort of like a doodads to create something, to make something that's distinctly you or your vision that you want to share with others. Using the Unreal Engine, this all can look real good, and if you're the creative housing type of person, you can create some wild and funky stuff, which on its own is kind of interesting just to browse and visit other people's art galleries and see what they can do, and of course they can come to your plot, and if you're anything like me, they can just laugh at how uninspired it is. The building of your art gallery, in addition to attracting people to visit, you can also attract NPCs who will then pay like an entry fee and credits, and those credits are used to expand and alter your gallery, buy custom avatars, or most importantly, obtain art to place in your gallery. And that's the game portion of Occupy White Walls. Now, the discovery platform is something else. You use this to obtain your art, and Daisy is their named AI that learns about your taste as you browse, like, comment, or buy art to place in your gallery, showing you digital versions of different pieces of real art in different styles, ages, color palettes, themes, etc. And in the near future, we'll also allow user-uploaded art. And this is where it can get really weird, but also where I see the vision of what they're trying to do. There is literally so much art. Art is so universal, so timeless, and has been consistently made since forever. And people like me, someone who has never really cared much about art, I've been to real-life art museums, I've been to art galleries, but it never really did anything for me. I'm pretty much self-proclaimed art indifferent, which probability-wise, I was just looking at stuff that didn't click with me. But after a couple hours with Daisy and the Discovery platform, I started actually seeing art that I liked, with comments on the side on how it was notable, who made it, where it's from, when it's from, and because I enjoyed the art, I was interested in that kind of stuff, which I think is just the entire goal of the game itself, to help you wade through this giant mass of stuff you don't like and find stuff you do.
Art is incredibly individual. If we took the best unknown artwork, which, whatever that is, and showed it to 100 people, maybe one or two would actually get it and connect with it, whereas the other 99, 98 people will just be polite about that. It makes artists incredibly frustrated, but also makes people feel like they don't get it, like it's their fault. It's not.
I really did find some value in just scrolling through AI-populated list after AI-populated list. Squirt, or Wifey, saw me playing this game, and she told me that I looked uncomfortable. There's something about the music and the weird aesthetics of the game, but also what they're doing that kind of put me on edge. There is definitely something reality bending happening here. It's this machine learning about you and showing you stuff, or kind of proving that you can like something that you don't think you like. It was just very uneasy. The whole thing just allows you to interface with art in a way that takes it a step further than just scrolling through ArtStation or Dribbble or DeviantArt or the Digital Museum of Modern Art. Obviously, a project like this would excel in VR and is something that is being planned down the road. But to circle back, it's why I struggle to call this a game, because in games, right, you craft a sword, but you don't really craft a sword. You fight a dragon, but you don't really fight a dragon. In this game, you create an art gallery, and you are actually creating an art gallery. You're showing off a curated collection of art and viewing other people's curated collections of art, and this art exists in the real world. Even in just browsing other people's galleries, you're also seeing things where people are having temporary exhibits, tributes to minimalism or impressionists. I've jumped into different galleries where people were discussing the finer points of brushstrokes. It could really end up being a meeting place for extreme enthusiasts, outside and separate of it being a game, which in itself, if you think about it, is kind of artsy, kind of like an interactive forum. It's mostly fine art at the moment, but once user-uploaded stuff is allowed and people upload dicks and cat girls, the AI will filter towards it or away from it based on your own personal taste, not making a ruling that this or that isn't art or not gallery-worthy, which is kind of his whole deal, kind of StikiPixel's whole deal, where it's too snobby and it's too controlled, and this is like relinquishing control to people and their own sort of tastes. Now, some may say, you already can do this in Second Life, so why should this exist? And sure, in Second Life, they have art exhibits and people attend them, but the context there is that you've already bought into the whole Second Life shtick, and you're getting people who are Second Life players first, gamers first, who may also like art, or go for the same reason that I did, to impress a girl, to try it out, to just do something different. It's not art first. In this situation, it's filtered to people who like art, who want to talk about art and attend and create, and the idea of maybe recreating a flash one-night-only exhibit from New York in this game because they can, and the things that are in that exhibit are literal things in real life that you can showcase and represent in this game is crazy. Or a step further, the real-life exhibit in New York might maintain an in-game exhibit. Now, how niche is that appeal? I don't know. Would the AI system work just as well on a static website? I don't know. Does seeing the same collection of images on a website feel the same as seeing them here in the game? Hell no. Now, how much they develop the game portion of Occupy White Walls is still anyone's guess, but I think if they full-on became Art Gallery Tycoon, it would cheapen what they have here. A project like this is what I've always imagined a potential of an MMO could end up being, a meshing between realities in support of each other, as opposed to an escape, it's a destination. And VR would just turn this into something completely different entirely. Of course, something like this is not for everyone, but it's definitely for some. That's going to go ahead and do it for me. Until next time, this is Fevir. Peace.